let me tell you what happened yesterday, and I'm going to use it by substituting Stu for Donald Trump. Here's what happened yesterday in court. In the attempt to cover up a crime, Stu committed a crime. In the attempt of covering up a crime, Stu committed a crime. In the attempt to cover up a crime, Stu committed a crime. Now, also, I'd like to say that in the attempt to cover up a crime, Stu committed a crime. But I'm not done. In the attempt to cover up a crime, Stu committed a crime.
Wait, but what crime was I trying to cover?
Great question, Stu.
Thank you.
I wasn't even done. I have 35 of those charges, okay?
Yeah.
And they're all very different. Let me just skip to 28. In the attempt to cover up a crime, Stu committed a crime.
Wait, what crime, though? What?
Yeah, okay, that's exactly what I would expect somebody who hates George Soros to say. Okay? That's what happened yesterday.
Yeah, he didn't even tell us what the crime was.
What is the crime? What is the crime?
He only told us what crime he supposedly committed when he was covering up the crime that he would not tell us what it was.
Correct.
Which is amazing.
We would like to define the crime, please. Could you define the crime? Now, some people say it's a campaign finance crime. Well, is it? Because the FEC turned it down. The feds turned it down. Even the corrupt Justice Department turned this down. But you picked it up, and that's a federal crime. Unless, somehow or another, in Alvin Bragg's head, well, states, you got to go to the Constitution for this one. So I know this definitely did not happen. States are in charge of the vote and the election, so states should be the one. Really?
It's still a federal crime, though.
Still a federal crime.
So that would not make any sense. They know they have nothing on that.
Well, it's a tax crime.
The tax crime was my favorite.
Yeah, tax crime. How is it a tax crime? Wait a minute. I've heard you should pay your fair share. Mm-hmm. And I've even heard it's patriotic to pay your fair share.
And we've heard for years and years that Donald Trump will not pay his fair share.
He will not
pay his taxes, this guy.
So this is apparently the tax crime. He paid more taxes by paying Cohen all of the quote bribe, which wasn't bribe. He paid that as income back to him. So he actually paid more taxes than he should have.
This guy that they've been begging for him to release his tax records for the entire time he's been in the public eye, just so they could prove that he does not pay his taxes, have now tried to put him in prison for paying too much taxes. That is legitimately what happened.
Yeah, but
yesterday.
it was the payment of those extra taxes that was the attempt to cover up the crime.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to say. And if you don't know this what happened in this situation, Cohen paid $130,000 to good old Stormy. And then
who hasn't?
Who hasn't?
Sincerely.
Look, she's expensive, apparently.
Right.
And so then to reimburse Cohen, instead of giving him $130,000, which would have been a reimbursement for an expenditure, but would have had to been, their accusation is it would have had to been, recorded in a certain way that may give away that they paid off a porn star. So instead, what they did is they paid him a salary of, I think it was around $400,000. And the thought there was you give him basically double the money so he can pay taxes and still maintain the amount he gave to Stormy Daniels. So they didn't want to give him the exact amount. They gave him more than that, and they gave him a bonus on top of that, I think of $60,000 just for, I guess, good tidings. So that's basically what they're saying, is that because he was actually not giving him a payment for work done, instead they were just repaying him for the expenditure, that they shouldn't have overpaid him because that meant too many dollars went to taxes. Right. That is legitimately what they are trying to get him on. Too many dollars.
Too much in taxes.
I mean, I didn't think there would be anything here. We said it before.
Right. No, this is less than we thought.
We said over and over again, we haven't actually seen the indictment. We haven't seen the charges, and we hold out. Maybe they have something that we have to at least see.
Well, they do. In the attempt to cover up a crime, Trump committed a crime.
But no, he didn't. right? Like, and not to mention, even if he did, it's
specific.
past the statute of limitations.
Let me explain it more clearly for you.
Yes.
In the attempt to cover up a crime which we don't know about, he paid too many taxes. Okay? Now, how do you feel, America?
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel? Now, for those of you who might think, well, this is a Soros DA, and are we going to be able to get justice? I just want you to know the judicial system is fair and honorable and honest. Let me tell you a little bit about the judge. Now, you might have heard Donald Trump say, well, this judge is against me. And you're like, okay. What, he didn't vote for you? Is that how he's against you? No. According to the FEC, the people, the Federal Elections Commission, the ones who decided not to prosecute Donald Trump because they didn't find a crime, the judge donated 3 times to Act Blue in the summer of 2020. Now, if you don't know what Act Blue is, congratulations. You're not part of the Alliance for the Dark Lords and the Siths. Okay, Act Blue is the funder or the mechanism that all of the laundered money goes through, for progressive things. So he has donated 3 times to Act Blue in the summer of 2020. Once on July 26, when the judge's donation, according to the FEC, was earmarked for President Joe Biden's 2020 presidential campaign. The other 2 contributions were pledged to the Progressive Turnout Project. This is a left-wing PAC that rallies voter turnout for Democratic candidates. And Stop Republicans. Now, that doesn't sound partisan at all. So he's funding, quote, Stop Republicans, which their whole thing is dedicated, quote, to resisting Trump and the Republican Party. But it doesn't stop there. No. His daughter, Lauren, previously worked for Kamala Harris. Now, she was part of the failed 2020 presidential campaign, so I don't know if we say she's just a partisan hack or just stupid. I mean, who worked on that campaign? She is now the president of a consulting company that proudly lists the Biden-Harris campaign as its client.
It's just...
Oh, my gosh. Now,
you can't make it up.
You can't make this up. You can't make this up. So she went to SUNY, the college, the crazy liberal Cloward and Piven College in New York. She has now deleted her LinkedIn page, which listed her pronouns, confirmed she graduated from SUNY in 2011. And the account also showed in 2019, she worked as the director of digital persuasion for Kamala Harris for the People. Digital persuasion. Wow. What a euphemism. That sounds like propaganda or brainwashing. Currently, she serves as president of Authentic Campaigns, a consulting digital advertising. Now, you go from digital persuasion to Authentic Campaigns. Oh, yeah, there's no psychosis there. There's no split personality there, unless they're doing exactly the same thing. This is an online fundraising agency that's raised $250 million for progressive campaigns. Could I just ask, do we have anything like this that I've never heard of? I've never heard of Authentic Campaigns before, and they've raised $250 million. Do we have anything like that? Do we have John Adams for sticking it up their butt? Do we have that pact or anything that's raising?
.com, yes. John Adams for sticking it up their butt.
Okay.
.com. Mm-hmm.
They raised $250. A video of smiling Harris being greeted by a crowd of supporters is the autoplay on the site's landing page. Also, Biden-Harris campaign logo is at the top of its client roster. Authentic Campaigns have won a collection of accolades, mostly for its work on the Harris campaign, while Lauren was awarded the coveted 2020 Rising Star title, considered one of the most prestigious honors in the campaign world. Whoa. The president of Authentic Campaigns is Lauren Merchant. Wow. That's the daughter of the judge. In a pair of Truth Social posts, Trump said, yeah, he's a highly partisan judge that hates him. I don't think that goes far enough, Don. I don't think that goes far enough. This is clearly a partisan political move, and the judge is bought and paid for. I don't know how you don't get at least him to recuse himself or a change of venue, but I don't think you will. Now, here's the extra super special part. Alvin, you know him, one of the chipmunks, also now running the New York DA. Alvin said, I'm just thinking, there's a parody song in there someplace with all the crime going on and somebody just going, Alvin! Anyway, Alvin is making sure that all this is on the up and up. And so the next time the court will meet on this subject is January of 24. Now, they're telling him early because, you know, the Iowa caucus is happening in January of 24. If this isn't so obvious of what's going on, they clearly want Donald Trump to be the candidate. They clearly want him to be the candidate. They also clearly don't want him to be the candidate. This is why I always say, you know, don't play these little games. Don't play these little games. Just do the next right thing. Because the last time they played this little game and they were like, we'll outsmart them. We'll show America how stupid he is. We'll put Trump in wall-to-wall coverage. Didn't work out as you thought it would. I have a feeling this might not work out the way you think it will either. But we'll see.